Antino's well cleared. 3 lengths in front of the Wayne Wilson and kept going. It's all Antino, and Antino wins again. Antino from second. What a wonderful...
Welcome to this week's edition of the Final Gallop. It is episode 267 and is proudly supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group and PlayUp. This week we're going to preview our runners for Saturday's Bernborough Plate Raceday at Eagle Farm. Morning, Tony. Another nice winning double last Saturday with Liquor and Madame Odette.
Yeah, good morning, Claire. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, it has been. It's been great. Nearly got the first three.
Nearly.
With Aussie Nugget narrowly getting beat. But no, it was a good day's races last week. We tapered off a bit towards the end of the day, but no doubt I thought the track was back playing far better. You know, the first week back the week earlier there was a good bit of bias there. The midweek meeting I think played much truer.
Yep.
And then I thought Saturday the track played better, and with rain forecast Thursday, Friday this week, we should get a really nice track on Saturday.
Okay. Now last week we did announce our special Christmas promotion courtesy of the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group, and the prize was a lunch for cab for two people at Apron Restaurant at the Pullman Brisbane Airport. The winner has been drawn for this money can't buy occasion.
Mark Abbott.
Mark Abbott.
Only one person who emailed in. Good on you, Mark. No, just jokes. There was quite a few, but Mark Abbott was the unlucky winner of this prize. Head out there. You won't be, however, unlucky with the food service and drink out there. It'll be great. Company, I don't know.
50,
but no,
50,
it'll be a lot of fun, mate. You'll have a great day. I'm sure Cav's going to be at his entertaining best.
Okay, on to Saturday's Bernborough Plate Raceday at Eagle Farm. The rail will be in the 4 metre position. The track is currently a good 4 with some showers forecast for the rest of the week. Could be a similar track to last week, Tony, if we do get some showers over the rest of the week that are forecast.
Yeah, true. I think you're right, Claire. We got that 4 metre rail, which has been bizarre. I think I mentioned it the other week. We were true. Then we're out at, I think, 7 or something, and then we were back to 2, then we're back to 4. So it's been a busy, well-used pad in there where we are. I think rain would be really beneficial. We saw last week the track evened out beautifully with that good bit of rain we got on the Friday night with that storm, 22 mil or something in the last week's meeting. And then we had those showers in the day and it got out to a 6 late. But I think the track overall raced really well with that rain. We have got rain forecast Thursday, Friday. It keeps changing. Yeah. And that's summer, isn't it, in Queensland? The storms build up. Yeah. So I think the track will cope with that rain, you know, on those 2 days or day before. Would be ideal for it to give us a nice even pad. Okay. Our first runner will be in race 4. It is the cutest 3-year-old handicap over 1,000 metres. Bossed Up will run 57.5 kilos. Jimmy Orman on board. Bossed Up's drawn barrier 6. A very nice win first up at the Sunshine Coast. Stays at the same trip and a nice middle draw for him. Going really well. Improved significantly this horse off his first up run. He's come back a better horse this prep all round. Yep. His first up run was good. Time was good. Everything about the race was good. He gets a race here. Boy, they're going to go quick in this. With good speed, really good speed in this race. So he'll be able to jump out. Orman on board's a big plus. He'll be able to judge that speed. Hopefully, I think his sort of pattern, as we saw at Sunshine Coast, just to find the back of it. If he can just get a nice drag up behind those pacey horses, he can be very strong late. I think he's got. I know it's only off a Sunday, the provincial run into this. I like the form around him. I like the way he's come back. I think he's now standing chance. Okay. We'll go down to race 7 now, which is the Listed Bernborough Plate over the 1,600 metres. Vinco runs at 57 kilos with Adam Hieronymus in the saddle. Barrier 2, he is on the way back up after a couple of lacklustre runs to start a summer preparation. He did race a lot more forward than usual last start, and that might have told late. Yeah, we struck 2 soft tracks. He doesn't like them at all. Ange, you know, just through the plans at the window there Saturday, and she stirred him right up. He ended up going right far forward on him to try and get in, and that's against his pattern to be driven mad like that so much early. So I'd be a bit forgiving of the horse. But he's a far better horse to let him get into his stride and be in strongest late with room, and that's how we'll ride him on Saturday. We'll move down to race 8 now, which is the Listed Falvelon over the 1,200 metres. You won this race back in 2016 with Whiskey all round. 3 runners this year, and Nettuno will start with 56.5 kilos. Ben Thompson rides barrier 11. Was a huge win first up in the Swiss Plate over the 1,000 metres, but last start got caught 3 wide with no cover in the George Moore over the 1,200 metres and couldn't produce that explosive finish. Really, really tricky here. There is really good speed in this race, however. The 3 or 4 are going to rock and roll. The challenge for Ben is to just let him begin and settle, try and get him to settle. Now, I personally don't care for in the second half of the field, even if we're 3 wide with a bit of cover, as long as we can travel kind early, you build into the race from the 600. If we can get on a good deck here, which you know, won't get rain on the day, this track will race really, really well. I think you'll really appreciate this good round of Eagle Farm. So I think it's a huge improvement off what we saw the other day at Doomben. We just do need a bit of luck from our gate, but I think I anticipate there's going to be a lot of speed in this race. I think that'll play into this horse's hands.
The second runner we have is Zarastro, who will carry 56 kilos with Angela Jones on board. He's drawn barrier 6. He's heading his hay over there. He might come for a visit.
He's drawn quite well. He's drawn just inside of the middle. Probably his stiffest test. Not sure. His last race was a pretty good race too, but this might be his stiffest test, I'd say. He's going really well. I dropped him back to the 1200. I give him a soft jump out of Deegan in between, where he sat outside lead and he was happy to settle, which is, I think, a huge plus for this race. You know, this race, as I mentioned just before when I was talking about Nettuno, is that they will go along with a good clip here, and just got to be able to just give him the right run. So whether he leads, whether he sits second or third, you know, there's a few of these ridiculously one that really might struggle at the 1200. So yeah, as long as we can rate our horse, give him the right run. He's won in Sydney, he's sitting third, fourth. So he's not a one-trick pony, I don't feel. As long as he begins, gets himself into that good rhythm, he can build on that. We know he's strong late because he won over 13.50 last start, so he's got that residual fitness there. So really happy with him. He likes Eagle Farm. He's in great form. You know, certainly to my eye, he hasn't gone backwards since the other day. I'm really happy with him.
It's good. Ef Troop is the third runner, 55 kilos. Damien Thornton rides barrier 2. Two nice runs to start off his summer preparation, including a third in the Swiss Ace Plate. Flew home last start and just missed in the Bribey. He's third up and third up last prep. He just missed winning the Hinkler at this track and trip.
He's definitely a knockout in this race. His 2 runs have been great. Both short of his trip now as he's gotten an older horse, particularly the 1000. Second up, first up was ideal. Trip Premier was huge behind the Nettuno. I kept him at 1000 again. He was really good late. He's run here behind King Kappa in the winter was great at 1200. He drew the car park that day, and he was back and wide and kept coming wider. Off a low draw here, he's going to get a nice economical run midfield. He's a horse that needs a bit of room when it's time to get into it. Like get outside horses. That's the challenge to Damien Thornton here, is to be able to get him into the right spot. First of all, give him the soft run, and then get him into the right spot when it's time to sprint. So if he can do that, he's a knockout horse here. He's going super. He's still got that speed in his legs off those 2,000 metre runs. Step to 1200 now is ideal, and then we're going to see him out for the cutest race at 1300 on Millions Day. So I think he's a big knockout in this race.
So how are you splitting?
It's hard to split. They're all sort of different in the run, aren't they? The Zarastro's going to be up there in the firing line. It'll depend on what happens around him. He's in super form. He's super fit. Ef Troop, I think, is probably mid, and Nettuno, depending on how he gets away and his behaviours, is mid to back. So we've got a few bases loaded. I'm going to sit on the fence. They're 3 nice sprinters to have in the race, and I certainly hope Stable's coming away with the major prize.
Okay. Race 9 is the Class 3 plate over 1200 metres. We'll have 4 runners in this. Boom Shot will carry 58.5 kilos with Jimmy Orman on board barrier 10. He's first up for summer after winning 2 of his 3 races in his debut preparation. He's had a trial and a quiet jump out in preparation for this.
Yeah, he's coming along well, this horse. His work on Tuesday was terrific. Don't worry about the barrier with him. He's a horse that hasn't got a lot of early speed anyway. He'll get back in the back third of the field, he'll settle and he'll hit the line hard. His maiden win at Doomben, he just come from an unwinnable position and ate them up late. So he'll sit back off this tempo, watch the race unfold, and Norman will get him into the race at the right time. He's a horse I've always liked. He'll progress as he gets out over further. I expect a good first up run for him, probably a flashing light sort of horse in this race.
Okay. Daytona will carry 58.5 kilos as well, with Ryan Maloney riding him at barrier 5. He does have ability, but has yet to put it all together for the 4 starts he has had with us. He did finish strongly for 4th last start behind a stablemate Bazik, who we'll face again.
I thought he was good the other day. He was much improved run. He took a little bit to settle. It was his first go for us, riding him back after having blinkers, etc. and some stuff on him. We'll follow that same pattern here. Off a low draw, Ryan will come out very neutral in midfield with cover and look to find the line. I think you'll see him improve sharply again off that run the other day. I've seen enough promise there to see he'll go better. I think Eagle Farm, big track, ridden in the same way, off a good draw for a midfield, he's a knockout hope.
Okay. Bazik will carry 58 kilos. Ben Thompson rides her. She's drawn barrier 7 in red hot form, winning her past 2 at Doomben. She won the first one on a heavy track over the 1050, and last start over the 1200 metres was on a good track, so she's quite versatile when it comes to conditions.
Stakes place here as a 2-year-old at Eagle Farm when the track wasn't as good as what it is now. in good order, this filly. Any cut in the ground helps her, there's no doubt.
Yep.
Quality filly, best horse in the race, I think, to my mind. Maybe I'm biased because I train her, but I think she's a very, very talented horse. She'll sit on speed, anywhere on pace, and she's got a good turn of foot late. And I think she'll be very hard to beat here, and you'll see her take part in the Magic Man's Carnival.
Okay. Our fourth one is Instagood. She'll carry 55 kilos with Angela Jones riding barrier 4. She is up against the older horses in this race. Last start she did get back in the listed mode plate for the 3-year-olds, but was only a bit fair to the line. Yeah,
I was disappointed in her in the mode, whether it was a soft ground that day and the track was chewing out a bit, or whether she just struggles at 1200. I'm just not sure. The jury's a little bit out on me with her. Her work I thought was excellent. Going to go on to any sort of 3-year-old races or take part in that Millions Carnival.
Yep.
I want to see her run well here.
Okay. How are you splitting?
Bezique. Bezique's a nice filly.
Yeah.
I think she's like unlucky to be against her in these sort of Class 3 races. She's a filly destined for much better races.
Okay. Race 10 is the benchmark 85 handicap over the 1400 metres. Freedom Rally will run in this with 56 kilos. Ben Thompson will ride him, and he has drawn barrier 15. He is third up for the preparation after a last start fourth in the Gateway at this track and trip. Those that beat him came from behind the speed and in the better part of the straight that day.
Yeah, he was a bit unlucky. He was a bit of a victim of that bias at Gateway Day. He went to come out, Jimmy on him, and ended up ducking back underneath, and from that point on the horses swooped down the centre, just had that momentum, and they're in the better part of the track. I'd be very forgiving. I know one thing, this horse has improved sharply off that. I probably wish now that I was third up into the Gateway with him. I think he's bang on. Barrier does disappoint me. Ben's won on him here at Eagle Farm off a wide draw before, and he's going to need every bit of that sort of ride again. So he's got to find a spot just in behind speed somewhere and just settle. He raced fairly close the other day, and they were going at a genuine clip. He'll be better for that run. It's brought him on fitness-wise, but he just needs a bit of luck from his barrier. The good thing about this start is where it is, the 1400. You're right at the back of that back straight, so he's got time to find his spot. But he'll need a bit of a ride. If he can give him a, Benny Thompson 10 out of 10, the horse will be awfully hard to beat in a decent race. There's a few nice horses to go, Wanji, etc., who have drawn low. But I think we're well weighted, very well placed in this grade. We just need to be able to try and get the right run off a tricky draw.
Okay. We are into the final furlong of this week's Final Gallop. Who is your best winning chance at Eagle Farm on Saturday?
Yeah, I tossed up between two horses, Bezique and Freedom Rally.
Yeah.
And it's hard to know because I don't know how the track's going to play yet. If there is any, bias, obviously fences off a little bit now, getting out, or Freedom Rally off the wide draw is not a big concern.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go off Bezique. I think she's a very talented filly, and she's better than the grade she's racing in.
Okay, your best each way chance?
Well, I haven't got the prices out in the market yet as we do this show a bit early this week, due to Lockie's extensive holiday regime, which is pretty good. And I'm in all rights to rib him actually after the ribbing I copped on the show last week with the Stephen Miles stuff. So Lockie, the professional holidayer, has got me there, got me good actually. So each way, look, I'm not sure it's going to be each way value, but if Ef Troop's each way in the Falvelon, which I think he will. It's always a bit of a price. I think his runs shape up to him running nothing but very, very well in the listed race. Okay, your best track worker this week? Oh, Bezique, Insta good work together. She was brilliant. Ef Troop was great out in the course proper. Freedom Rally worked good with Baller out there as well. So, pretty nice morning. I'll probably go my two best track workers. I'll just keep it pretty. Zarastro was well behaved, which is great. So he's on the ball, which is how we wanted. That's how he was going into the recognition, and that's how he is now. So he's the same, which is good to see. That jump out in between has kept him up to speed. But I'll split between Bezique and Freedom Rally. I thought their work was terrific, and both horses are peaking right up in the prep. And the horses have been up for a bit, like Zarastro, are holding together. They're working the same, which is what I want to see. And your performance from the stable for the week? Toss up. Yeah. It would have been old Nugget had he got up. Obviously falling in the Rocky Cup, coming back winning second up would have been a story for him, but he didn't. So Nugget, you have to wait till third up, I'd say. Yeah. Because your hook's right on that till. It is. But there's two good performances in the week, and the two winners we had, obviously, we had a lot of winners throughout the week. We had a really lot of winners, which was good. But out of the two City Horse, which I normally go to, because they're the big ones. Yeah. I thought Liquor raced really well for how the race panned out for her. She coped well, and he did a good job on that kid, and she clearly is at the end of the prep. But I'm going to go with Madame Odette. Yeah. She so often, we thought she would win, and things didn't pan out. It was just so good to see everything pan out as expected Saturday, and she held off a good mare in Princess Rani's, who stakes place, group place. So For me, Madame Odette, winner of the week. Well done, flying start team. I know a lot of happy owners there on Saturday for her, and hopefully we're all that happy on Wave Day.
Exactly. Okay, now we are a little bit early for the PlayUp stable special this week, so do stay tuned to our social media channels for that market when it does open. But we are not too early for Cav's Corner, which is supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. He was peg leg again last week, landing one of his two legs with Madame Odette saluting. Let's see if both of his legs can work this week.
Welcome to Cav's Corner for this week. Last leg we got the first leg, just couldn't follow up with the second leg. Anyway, this week we'll go to Eagle Farm. We'll go Bezique, a win. Into Freedom Rally, a win. Good punting, guys.
So he's gone Metro, Bezique a win, into Freedom Rally a win.
Yeah, I like it.
Reasonable,
I like
yeah.
it. I didn't get a chance to counteract him last week because he's the one that was all part of that good stitch up that got me. So just wait, team.
You do look the same. Come on.
Right.
You're very
okay.
similar.
Well, the new year, there's going to be a few stitch ups here, and there will be 3 of you all copying it. Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely. So no, I like his multi. I think it's a really good multi. I think it's important to look at that track place for Freedom Rally, but Bezique's a really quality filly. I really think he can win the last. We just need a bit of a ride. But if you ever want to draw wide, that's the start, the 7 furlong.
Yeah.
So I think the horse is bang on.
Okay. Well, good luck on Saturday, Tony, and we hope you and your family have a very Merry Christmas.
Yeah, everyone out there too. Obviously yourself, Claire, but everyone else out there, have a great Christmas. Eat heaps, drink heaps, enjoy the time it is with family and friends. It's a great time of the year. So hopefully we can fill your pockets up with some money on Saturday, and you can all really enjoy your Christmas come Monday.
Yeah. Best of luck to everyone and Merry Christmas.